sailed this sea of dreams forever. Una familia del corazón, brother and sister together, believing in that promise set in stone. The Lady of Liberty still calls us, lifts her lamp beside the golden door. Send to me your huddled masses, give to me your tired, your poor. And so we've come to build a nation, forged by many hands through many years, with justice as a firm foundation, and compassion to rescue us from fear. And who among us is not thankful? Would not choose to share what we've been given free? Who among us would refuse? No, sir, remember we are family. No, sir, we are never alone. No, sir, remember we were meant to be una familia del corazón, una familia del corazón. And though the darkness closes round us, storm clouds drive us from our home, the light of love still surrounds us. Las familias del corazón. Remember we have been created to be a family of the heart. No, sir, remember we're a family.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Father Eric Sundrup. I'm the pastor here at Bellman Chapel, and we are happy to welcome you again for another night of incredible performances here in our parish and beyond. As I said before, we're always happy to be hosting this concert because we are committed to standing with migrants, refugees, and to build bridges, not walls, to welcome all with love. As you heard last night, your donations will go to serve 3 incredible migrant-serving organizations: the Kino Border Initiative, Casa de Paz, and Catholic Charities Southwestern Ohio. We hope you enjoyed tonight's performances and hope you will join us in sharing the journey with our migrant brothers and sisters today. And as we did last evening, I invite us all to pray together the Share the Journey prayer. God, our refuge, you share the journey with migrants and refugees, lightening their footsteps with hope. For you, Lord, are close to the brokenhearted. Pour out your Spirit upon world leaders. May they see the tragedies of our human family and be moved to respond with wisdom, compassion, and courage. Open our eyes and hearts to the God-given dignity of all your people. Move us to welcome our neighbors and so bear witness to your love. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael Jonathan. I'm standing here with the great Bobby Fisher, and we are in the 4th year of a very important project that is to bring attention to the plight of migrants. And more than any year that you've been doing this, that issue is so prominent right now. It's such an important thing. Tell everybody why you're doing this project.
Well, it began 3 years ago with our first Share the Journey concert, which was held right here in this space. And the purpose is to aid and assist the many needs of the refugee and migrant community. And like you say, Michael, this year the need is ever greater. We have refugees from Haiti, refugees from Afghanistan, from across the border, Central America. The need is tremendous. And we have 3 organizations that we're sponsoring. And this year, last year was the first year we couldn't do it live in the space because of the pandemic. This year is a hybrid.
You know, we're slowly coming out of it. But going back to the migrant issue, I lived on the Mexican border for 2.5 years, and I got to see firsthand people trying to come across the Rio Grande into America. And it's important to remember as you hear all these political issues about things, that these are people and husbands and fathers and wives and moms and children. The overwhelming majority of them are innocent people just trying to save themselves and their family. And so that's really what tonight is about. And I'm going to offer an opening song, and there's going to be so much great music tonight, including something very special by you, Bobby. But I'm going to play a tune with John on the flute. We've never done this before. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've ever performed this live. But it's called The Statement. I'm searching for love in the world, looking for love in the world. We need peace and love all over the world. There's too much hate in the world. Why is there hate in the world? Fighting and hatred all over the world. And we can dream, just imagine how fine it will be when there's only love in the world. And there's too much war in the world. Why is there war in the world? All of this fighting and war all over the world. And there's so much food in the world, and all of this hunger in the world, and all of these children die of hunger in the world. And we can dream, just imagine how fine it will be when there's only love in the world. Here we go, John. And we can dream, just imagine how fine it could be when there's only love in the world. We need music in the world. We've got to have art in the world. And we need peace and love all over the world. Song called The Statement. Thank you, and thank you, John, for playing the flute there. And tell us about Tom Sparrow.
Tom?
I like your mask, by the way. That Wood Songs mask really looks good on you.
Thank you, Michael. Well, Tom and I, we go quite a ways back. We were together with a touring theater group called the Fountain Square Fools. Some of you may be familiar with that. And I got to know Tom because I played at his wedding. It's been how many years, Tom? Ooh, wow. All right.
He's going to do something that looks great on the radio. I understand he's going to juggle.
He is going to juggle.
Yeah, which always works good on a radio.
It's wonderful on the radio.
Thank goodness for TV cameras.
Anyway, Tom goes by the name of Space Painter, or Tom, so please welcome Tom Sparrow.
with you right now, but I don't want to do this because I'm a juggler, although that is part of it. How many of you have ever had to juggle your schedule? And how many people here have more than one hat they wear for different roles in their life? And how many people here have ever tried to find the balance between listening and speaking? And the reason I want to share my juggling today is we are all jugglers. And I do not believe that you can be on the road toward compassion without a juggling act accompanying you. So my goal is to show us a little glimpse of how we all look. You might recognize yourself. But it's not just you here, of course you're here, but also I'm here, and also God's here. And we all have the same job. We have to keep up with what's important, and we have to get the lowdown on the details that really matter. And we look different at different times in our life, like here we are getting organized. And what's a movement without organization? And here we are following that higher calling. And here we are letting go of our fears. Oh, here we are thanking God it worked. Here we are keeping up with social media. Here we are taking a quick rest. Oh. If you don't recognize yourself yet, here you are, first thing in the morning. But all of us have that same job. We have to keep up with what's important and get the lowdown on the details that matter. And this is not just the people in the room or the people watching tonight. All over the world, people are involved in this same juggling act of compassion. So this is the world view. But in the United States, it looks a little different. We talk about climbing a ladder of success. We talk about the American dream. It's having troubles. Maybe it never existed fully if we're compassionate in our thoughts. We talk about different places where we see compassion. You might recognize this. This is California. And you might recognize this. It's New York. And you might recognize this. It's Texas. And welcome to Ohio. And good things happen in Ohio. We know how to look at more than one side of an issue. We know how to get behind things. And this isn't even how most people think the juggling act of compassion works. Most people think it's simply what goes around comes around. Which is true. This is the great circle of life. But it's one thing to know this. It's another thing to experience this, to be in this, to take a step forward on the journey, followed by another step when you're hungry, when you feel like it is the pits. Woo! But it doesn't have to end there. There's choices. We have a world filled with compassionate people. We have a United States filled with compassionate people. We have people of compassion in California and in New York and in Ohio and Texas. But there are so many ways to be compassionate. Many of us have trouble deciding what to do. For there are choices emerging almost everywhere, every side. We see a post, a video, a story, a conversation, and we start to end up, so many of us, like this. And this has a name. It's called confusing. And it is confusing trying to decide, how do we help? What do I do? What really matters? And when this happens, conventional wisdom says, slow down and use your heart or your head. Yeah, no, use your head. That's right. But the older wisdom says, use your heart. It says it before you're ready for it. But when we do use our heart and pay attention to what gets our blood flowing, to what really matters to us and those we encounter, we always get ideas on how to move forward. For our heart and our head are connected. And when we're using our brain, remember, use both sides of the brain. Be logical and creative. And when we do this, we see the very connections of life and how we are connected, how we are bound together in the circle of life. And when we see this and experience it, we can turn things around to reach new heights, to be a little better, to go a little farther, to reach a little deeper, to make it to the top. For all.
This is Sandy Nasson, sometimes known as Sander. Yes, yes, yes. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm very pleased and honored to have been asked to participate and share the Journey benefit concert. And I want to thank Bobby Fischer for putting all this and all of us together. I've chosen a song by the jazz bass player Dave Friesen that I modified for acoustic solo guitar. It's called My Faith, My Life. Thank you.
So he was your first guitar teacher?
He was.
He turned you into a Chet Atkins, right?
I wouldn't go that far.
I have to comment about Tom. I mean, what an amazing juggler. Where did you find that? I mean, that's incredible talent right there. He doesn't realize that people in music have to do that to their checkbook every month. It's a big, there's a reason folk rhymes with broke, and that's why we're all doing this, right?
We got into this knowing there was a good possibility that if we got really good at it, there was a potential to make dozens of dollars.
Tens and tens, as they say. And speaking of tens and tens, we want people to donate to your cause in helping the migrants. So how do they do that? Why don't you tell everybody how to do that?
There's a couple of different ways, but you can go on to the website, shareinthehope.com, and there's a link that says donations. So that's probably one of the easiest ways to do that. But being here live, we actually have a bowl in the back where folks here in our studio audience or our church audience can make a donation directly in that. And I believe we have capabilities, Tim, is that right, of credit card? Yep, Square Reader, beautiful. All right.
And where does the money go? Explain the cause. I think this is very important.
It goes to the three organizations, the Keno Border Initiative, which works and aids migrants on the border of Nogales, Texas, and Sonora, Mexico, and Catholic Charities, Southwest Ohio. It's worth mentioning that they are currently assisting with housing for 50 refugees from Afghanistan. And offering other assistance to them, as well as Casa de Paz, which shelters women who have been victims of domestic violence.
And let's make clear, this is not a political effort. This is a humane effort. This is one out of kindness and love. And speaking of kindness and love, our next artist is going to be singing about that. Her name is, let's welcome Betsy Lippett to the stage.
Thank you, and hello. Well, Sandy Nassen was probably the first band I was in. Sandy Nassen was one of the members, and he was in one of the first bands I was in at that location, Family Album. So over the years, things have changed, and things have not changed, and they've come back round circle. It just does. It's so much. It's hard to watch the news, so I try to do headlines and sometimes get a little background, sometimes just sit with it for a while. And my theme is, I think, similar to Tom's and people so far. There's so much compassion in the world, but when all that stuff hits the fan, I can get pretty angry and upset, and I don't want to radiate that out. So we each have our own way of responding to all these actions and activities and shenanigans, they call them, that are so hurtful and harmful. It breaks my heart. So again, I don't want to be that negative person that radiates all that out. So this is a song about maybe there are ways that we can think of ourselves in our actions and thoughts so that we can shed more light as opposed to the darkness. It's called Seekers. We are the seekers of the peace that lies beyond the raging sea. We climb the mountains, some guide on currents, some struggle thirsty across a desert sand. Some travel years, stumbling and falling. Sometimes they're weighted by still standing tall. Well, there's no turning back, no turning around. Tossed and tumbled, we travel on. We are the dreamers of the promise that all people shall be free. We dream the promise that our planet will sustain us while corporations lead us down our own destruction. No one to show us, darkness can slow us, deep water pulling while we push towards the land. Into the cavern, darkest of nights. Into the cavern lit by only candlelight. We see the shadow is cast by the dim light. We follow the shadow, we follow the light. Flickering candle, darkest of nights, flickering light. Timidly you move along, you touch the wall. Timidly you take a step and you might fall. Oh, you keep going, you know the way by heart. You know the way, you know the way by heart. You know the way, you know the way. of the peace that lies beyond the raging sea. We find the balance in silent moments. We light the way and we show. And you light the way and you know. Oh, now we travel together. We travel on together. Traveling on, let the shadow fall where the shadow may lay. Follow the dream and the light of the day. Follow the dream, follow the light, follow your dream. You are a seeker, you know the way. You are a seeker, you lead the way, you know the way by heart. You know the way by heart. You are the dreamer of the promise that all people shall be free.
So a number of you will remember that last February we inaugurated this new facility that so many of you were so generous in supporting, and we had a wonderful celebration here, a dream come true. And then the following month, COVID hit here like it did in much of the world. And so we had to improvise and we had to pivot very quickly.
This year has been a year defined by determination. In the midst of all of the obstacles that we have faced and that the migrants that we accompany have faced, we've been determined to continue to live out our mission. And the migrants that we serve and accompany are determined to continue to keep protecting their families from violence and finding a way to survive in the midst of this global pandemic. And so that determination is what has driven us to keep focused on our mission, to be creative in how we offer services.
When migrants come in and they do have a meal in the dining area, they're recently arrived, they're able to bathe as well. And I can't describe how incredibly restorative that is for people to be able to bathe, receive a new set of clothing, to receive toiletries. It's incredibly restorative, and I would say even healing.
For many of us, for us at the Keynote Border Initiative, but really for the global community, this year has in many ways been defined by what we can't do, the doors that have closed. But it's striking to me to reflect on what we have been able to do. And although we haven't been able to open that shelter space, we have been able to offer so many other services to migrants who are arriving in Nogales, Sonora.
What was wonderful was just yesterday I was here, and in one of the classrooms were parents, I think, receiving legal information and data that they needed for their cases, and in the other room the children were playing. So it's just wonderful to see in terms of using this space and continuing to provide the deep care and love and support for which Kino is known, and to do that in this space while keeping everyone safe. The needs are so high, and I'd say one of the biggest concerns we have involves migrants who have fled violence. They've come north, and they're unable to access the asylum process. And this has gone on for months. Some have even been here over a year. And with all the risks that they face here and all the uncertainty, and it's just been a very, very difficult situation.
But what's unique about this year is how much we've focused on developing the leadership of the migrants themselves. Because we don't want to just always be an intermediary. What we want is for their voices to be strengthened and for their voices to be heard. And we've been able to do that in the context of the Save Asylum campaign, where migrants themselves are deciding what kinds of events and protests to organize. They're taking almost all of the speaking roles. We had in the fall a march that was organized by the children, where they shared their experiences of what it means to be a child in this context of limbo and stranded at the border. So although I wish that people weren't stuck here in Nogales, I so admire and appreciate what people have made of this moment and their growth and their own confidence and their own leadership, and their own sense of possibility, that they believe that change is possible, and they're inviting all of us to join them in that journey. I'm struck by how much this represents the body of Christ, that in this building each of us have our different role and our different function, and together we're advancing a world in which we can love more deeply, in which hope is true and it's not just optimism. And it's that body of Christ that I'm asking you all to continue to pray for and continue to support.
We've really grown to become the KBI family, and that family continues to grow, and so I really look forward to KBI flourishing and continuing to flourish going into the future.
I'm Eric Sylvester. I've lived in San Francisco for the last 16 years. Before that in Los Angeles for 15 years. Before that in Phoenix for 10 years. That was beginning in 1980. My first experience with music was intense. My parents enrolled me in the Archbishop's Choir School, where we did standard school subjects in the morning. And then after lunch, we sang all afternoon. We sang every Sunday at St. Peter and Shane's Cathedral in downtown Cincinnati. During my freshman year at St. X High School, my brother Mike, a freshman at UC, created the Queen City Balladeers Folk Music Club with some of his friends. When Mike got a better guitar, I got his first guitar and also joined the Queen City Balladeers and learned how to play. My first group was a Peter, Paul, and Mary style trio. Then I joined a bluegrass band, and then I joined a jug band called the Cincinnati Dancing Pigs, who still exist to this very day. I performed many times at the Coffee House and the summer concerts in Eden Park. The video you will see features my current band, Hot Steel and Cool Ukulele. We have 2 CDs full of classic Hawaiian swing songs from the 1920s and 1930s. The song you will see is called I'm Pow, which means I'm finished. I'm out of here. I'm Pow. Aloha.
night, and that's not right. So we've always been feeling it through. I'm out. Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of energy in that music, right, Bobby? I would say. You have a lot of friends, too. You got a lot of your friends performing tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of fallen that way. It's been pretty cool. Sandy Nasson just happened to be in town a few months ago visiting his cousin, and one of my students let me know, oh, do you know Sandy Nasson? I said, well, yeah. He's was my first guitar teacher, and so I got Sandy's number. I called him. I said, would you like to either participate in person or do a video? And he said, sure, be happy to do that.
It's nice to have helpful friends, right?
It is helpful.
And you have a lot of helpful friends, hopefully a bunch watching online tonight, because we're trying to raise money for a very good cause, and that is to help our fellow brothers and sisters, our fellow human beings that are in crisis, no fault of their own, but they're in trouble. And I think it's fair to say that the media politicization of what is happening to them has made it very hurtful for many, because they are troubled people not knowing what to do, crossing borders, trying to save themselves and their families, really to no fault of their own, and yet they're being corralled and condemned. And these are human brothers and sisters of ours. Even though we're middle class in America, they still belong to our family in a way, don't they?
We are. We're all family, part of the human family.
You know, when I was living on the Mexican border, my little house was a 5-minute walk to the Rio Grande. I used to watch people crossing into America and going on their way, and it was a very interesting thing to see. And I asked some of the locals, you know, why this was happening, and everybody had the same answer. They're scared. They're scared. They don't know what to do. They're not. 99% of these folks are not coming here to hurt anybody. They're coming here to work and to send money back home. And I talked to a local tortilla factory and said, you know, if I got a refrigerator and I put Kool-Aid and tortillas in this refrigerator, would you donate the tortilla? And they did. And for months, I'd hear people at 3 and 4 in the morning opening the refrigerator door. And finally, one person left a little torn piece of their Spanish Bible, which I couldn't read Spanish. And it was a verse about love. That's how grateful they were that this was there for them. But human beings need to kind of step up a little bit, and that's what you're trying to do with this fundraiser tonight.
Yeah, and you know, you just reminded me of something. My brother-in-law in California was a migrant from Guadalajara, Mexico. Back in the 80s, he's married to my wife's sister, and he used a different name when he was here, but he was working and sending money back home, and he acquired his citizenship back in the 80s.
Well, we hope everybody is going to take a lesson from that and from the music that they hear tonight to donate as much as they can to the causes that this event is for. So, you know, step up, open up your wallet, and this is a way for you to participate. Why don't you introduce our next friend?
I will do that. Our next friend happens to be a very good friend.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how Ed and I connected many, many years ago through Eric Sylvester, who we just saw. So Sandy Nasson is my first guitar teacher, and Eric Sylvester was the very first producer that I ever worked on the very first album that I ever worked on, which happened to be Ed Goodfriend's album. And so,
Yay.
and Ed has been part of Share the Journey now every year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
For 4 years. So my very good friend, Ed Goodfriend.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to sneak in one little story. The only time in the 40 years that I've known Bobby that I ever saw him sleeping when there was music happening was when we were doing this song on the recording. And I woke him up and said, Bobby, it's your turn to play guitar.
It was 3 a.m.
Yes.
An all-night session.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says he played it asleep, but listen to what it was. Some of you may remember that original version of the song. And over the many years, I've learned and found that life and cosmology are more complicated than when I first wrote about it. A more complex notion of reality celebrates mystery and paradox. That wisdom is found not in light versus dark, nor winning versus losing, but when the integration of opposing forces happens, and in the joining of light and dark. And it also recognizes that also often darkness holds light. It may serve justice and peace well to find connection across the chasm of this and that, us and them. As the mystic poet Rumi writes, out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there is a field. I will meet you there. That field may be the place where difference is better tolerated and nurtured, where judgment is replaced by curiosity, and where rejecting who or what we don't know is replaced by welcoming the stranger as a mode of community. Children of sunlight will walk in the day. Bright light and dark mystery surrounds us. Clearing, creating new ways. We walk on this earth seeking sunlight. Even when clouds make dark days, clear guidance lives hidden in shadows, bringing us warmth, bearing us newness of life. The children of sunlight will walk in the day. The hand of dark mysteries surround us, clearing the darkness away. We see, can we see and take in the whole picture? Make a new earth as we find true love that can heal scarred division, sowing kind warmth, harvesting fullness of life. The children of sunlight will walk in the day. Bright light and dark mystery surround us, clearing, creating new ways. It's time that we shelter the homeless. It's time we protect refugees with safety and connection, gifting with warmth, nurturing fullness of life. The children of sunlight will walk in the day, bright light and dark mystery surround us, clearing, creating new ways. The children of sunlight will walk in the day, bright light, dark mystery surround us, clearing, creating new ways, clearing, creating new ways. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eugene Jablonski, and I'm in the band Tango Volcado. We're from Spokane, Washington, and we're going to play Invierno Porteño by Astor Piazzolla. And I think it's very important for us to all support services that aid immigrants. And my daughter Ruthie here has more experience working with immigrants services, so she's going to say something.
I choose to work with immigration organizations and volunteer my time because I believe that immigrating safely and with dignity is a basic, fundamental human right. Se lo voy a decir en español. Trabajo con organizaciones de inmigración porque yo creo que inmigrar con seguridad y dignidad es un derecho humano fundamental. Thank you.
Tango Volcado. I like the name of that, Bobby. That's a cool name. Cool music too, right? You've gathered some really nice variety of people, and most of these folks you've played with before.
Yeah, bass player in that band used to be here in Cincinnati, and we were in a band called Melange. We were frequent performers at the Family Out. There's a funny little story in that Eugene, as amazing musician as he was, first night we were supposed to do an open mic, and he saw a performer by the name of Walter Kraft, who just totally blew him away, and he got stage fright and says, "We can't do this, we're not ready." And so we told Sandy, and so Sandy said, "Not to worry, this was a Wednesday night. I'm going to put you guys on Sunday night as a feature set." And we ended up adding a couple more friends, and we formed a band called Melange, and that became a regular thing for us for a while.
I miss the days of good coffee houses where live performers were regular and people would show up, and of course they've gotten very complacent now. We've become a Netflix-addicted generation, and folks don't necessarily go out, which is why we love our audience here in the room tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. For those watching online, donating to a very good cause, Share the Journey, is something that we should all be very concerned with, and that's why Bobby's gathered so many of his friends, and this is another group of friends of yours. Why don't you introduce them, Bobby? Because you're going to play with them again, right?
I get to play.
Mr. Utility.
Actually, I learned a lot from Eric as a producer, because I ended up getting the opportunity, the privilege to produce these guys on 2 of their records. And this is Steve Young and Greg Pearson Young Project, and our co-organizers of this event. So we couldn't do it without you guys.
Thank you. And no event is complete without a couple of announcements. So just a few things to mention. In addition to funds, we also are doing some advocacy work tonight around Dreamers and trying to get something to move in Congress and get some legislation passed for so many people who are kind of in limbo. So there are some cards out there that you can send to your representative and senator, and they're already pre-printed. So feel free to fill those out. Also, many of our artists have CDs or their works out there available for sale, and there's a beautiful, charming woman out there who will take care of you. I'm guaranteeing it, so feel free to purchase merchandise. And then finally, throughout the night, we're acknowledging so many people who make this event possible by things that they do. And we wanted to point out Gwen Pearson, who's been a photographer doing stuff for us over the years, and it's appeared on our website and promotional materials and stuff like that. So Gwen, thank you for all the beautiful photographs that you've taken over the years.
So people talk about division, and everyone's wondering, well, we're divided, what do we do? Well, I don't accept division. I don't accept it as something that has to happen. But where it starts is in simple communication. So that's what this song is about. The name of the song is Can We Talk? There are walls that stand between us, cleverly constructed from the very start. But these walls that stand between us keep us much too far apart. They say we're divided, but who's to blame? If you don't know my struggle, and I don't know your pain, though we try and try to understand, the walls between us still remain, but we can change. If you talk to me and I talk to you, we can understand much better. If you talk to me and I talk to you, we can take that step together. Never really knew you.
always stood and watched from far away. I never knew what you were going through till I opened up and talked with you today.
They say we're divided, but who's to blame? Do we know each other's struggles? Do we know each other's pain? Until we open up our hearts and minds, the walls between us will remain.
If I talk to you and you talk to me,
understand much better.
if you talk to you and I talk to you,
We can know each other better.
can I talk to you? Will you talk to me?
We can take this step together.
Will you talk to me? Can I talk to you?
We can break down the walls together. How long must these walls stay standing? How much further drawn apart? To understand, you're so demanding. Let's make a start right here, right now. When you talk to me, and I talk to you, can you talk to me? Can I talk to you? Can you talk to me? Can I talk to you? Can you talk to me? Talk to you? Can I talk to you? Can you talk to me? Yeah. Can I talk to you? Can you talk to me? Can I talk to you? Will you talk to me? Yeah. Will you talk to me? Can I talk to you? Will you talk to me? Can I talk to you?
Thank you.
Saludos, greetings. My name is Diane Cho DiFrancesco. I am the current president of the Board of Directors of Casa de Paz Cincinnati. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you briefly about our organization. My goal in this brief presentation is to share an overview of who we are, our mission, our transition home, our program for women and children, and some of the challenges faced by victims of domestic violence. Casa de Paz, peace, hope, and brighter futures for victims of domestic violence. First, did you know that 1 in 3 Latinas have experienced domestic violence in their lifetime? Did you know that 1 in 12 Latinas have experienced domestic violence in the past 12 months? Our mission at Casa de Paz is to facilitate the transition of women and children with a focus on Latinas, from victims of domestic violence to confident, self-reliant individuals. Each woman in our program creates a personal development plan. We provide guidance and support them unconditionally, confidentially, and without judgment. We extend a safe space to the women and their children while connecting them to community resources, support, and programs to facilitate recovery. We celebrate their independence and growth. Graduates from our program can join the Phoenix Group, our women's support group, for further support and education. Casa de Paz provides a secure, safe haven for women and their children so they can begin a new life, free from abuse and trauma. We offer a 6-month transition program in which women and their children receive therapy as part of the healing process. With individualized education and psychological support, women work toward economic independence while building self-esteem and the confidence they need to face the world on their own. Casa de Paz offers a safe, comfortable environment for women and children to grow and develop through educational programs tailored to meet individual needs. These programs allow women to make life adjustments in order to achieve a more positive and healthy life. We focus on the physical and emotional health, skills for success in the community, and confidence through empowerment, reinforced by others who have successfully transitioned from violence to independence. We also connect residents with community resources pertaining to such topics as mental health, personal finance, parenting, tax preparation, nutrition and wellness, rights and legal issues, and English as a second language classes. Children at Casa de Paz receive age-appropriate educational support and engage in recreational and enrichment activities generously provided by volunteers. They also receive counseling provided by licensed psychologists and professionals. Casa de Paz is a new nonprofit organization here in Cincinnati. Let's look at our brief history. Our home opened in January 2020, and we received our first family January 21st, 2020. Since then, and during the global pandemic, we've served 19 families, 31 children. We've had 8 graduates of the 6-month transition program, and we sadly also received 19 calls for intake when we had no more space available. Feedback from graduates of our program has been very positive. One resident said, "El programa me ayudó en preparar que no debo tener miedo a decir sí y a ser firme en mis decisiones. The program helped me to learn that I should not fear when to say yes and to be firm in my decisions." Another graduate shared, "Me trataron siempre con amor, cariño y comprensión. They always treated me with love, affection, and understanding." Our Phoenix group offers practical support for Casa de Paz residents and a forum for shared learning. Educational programming is offered to improve self-esteem, support cultural adaptations, and encourage healthy living. Your generous support will not only keep our doors open, but allow us to offer the individualized and enrichment programming that each resident needs to grow and to transform. Casa de Paz, providing peace, hope, and brighter futures for victims of domestic violence. Help us help women and children now. Contact us today. Muchas gracias por su apoyo. Thank you for your support.
Hi, my name is Michael Ronstadt, and I'm so excited to play this song called Me and My Purple Monkey with Serenity Fisher and Bobby Fisher. And it's been such an honor to be a part of this concert in person the past many years. And since I have a gig somewhere else, I wanted to offer this video instead. So I hope you enjoy it. This is a co-write with my friend Z Malls out of Pennsylvania. And he's an actor into musical theater and all that stuff, and the lyrics kind of speak for themselves. Hopefully it's a lighthearted run through a fun song that will make everyone very, very happy and put a smile on all your faces. I'm walking through the city, making people smile. It's great. color, his technicolor hue. Be my purple monkey. We ain't feeling blue. Me and my purple monkey. No one expects to see. Me and my purple monkey. A tiny jamboree. Nothing is depressing. Nothing gets you down. Me and my purple monkey go walking through your town. See no evil, my monkey just looks aside. Hear no evil, my monkey takes things in stride. Speak no evil, my monkey says nothing wrong. He'll give a squeak, he'll kiss my cheek. He likes to sing this song. Me and my purple monkey in his pretty orange frock. He likes to stir my coffee and dance to classic rock. We promenade at nighttime. The dogs come out to bark. Me and my purple monkey glowing in the dark. Me and my purple monkey, no one expects to see. Me and my purple monkey, a tiny jamboree. Nothing is depressing, nothing gets you down. Me and my purple monkey go walking through your town. Me and my purple monkey. Me and my purple monkey. Me and my purple monkey. Go walking through your town. 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 Through your town.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael Ronstadt, Serenity Fisher, and the dad. So that was 3/5 of the Cardboard Hearts doing Meet My Purple Monkey. And so now live we have 3/5 of the Cardboard Hearts minus Michael, minus our drummer Matt. Hi guys, we miss you, but we look forward to seeing you. They are currently out of town doing other gigs. So this is Serenity Fisher on the piano.
Hello.
And sitting in with us tonight is John Venemeyer. And on violin, Rose Reed-Miller-Gouda. And we're going to do a song written by Serenity called True.
So I was, I don't think I have anything super profound to say, but my dad did task Michael and I, Michael, who you just heard, who I'm married to, yay! He did task us with playing songs that were on the more cheerful side, which makes sense because all of this can get really depressing, and when we get really depressed, sometimes we shut down, and it's harder to do all of that awesome advocacy work that Steve was talking about and show up for cool things like this. So this is hopefully a song that'll feel cheerful, but I really think that the main thing about this song is that it's about loving each other, loving ourselves as we go out into the world and as we grow and we change and we explore different things, and coming back together and continuing to love each other and work together. So this is called True.
What is truth? Said the scissor to the glue. If I don't cut, can you still be you? Well, I don't care if you want to try out being something new. I just hope you'll always line up when I line up next to you. What is change? Said the moth to the clue. If I don't fly toward the light, can you still reveal truth? Well, I don't care if you want to try out being something new. I just hope you'll always line up when I line up next to you. Like fish swim underwater because they like the furry feeling of algae in the water. I swim underwater when the sun goes down, when the sun goes down. I swim underwater when the sun goes down. I swim underwater when the sun know what I meant to know, but I've been there too, in the places that line you, and I just hope you'll always line up when I line up next to you. I just hope you'll always line up when I line up next to you. When I line up next to you. When I line up next to you. When I line up next to you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tony Stieritz, CEO of Catholic Charities Southwestern Ohio. Catholic Charities serves and empowers the vulnerable in our community through a variety of professional services. These include food pantries, early childhood and parenting education, senior and caregiver support, and many other programs. And rooted in the gospel call to welcome the stranger, Catholic Charities is also a leading provider of comprehensive immigration and refugee services in our region. For this year's World Day of Migrants and Refugees, Pope Francis has a beautiful message for us. He says this: "The truth is that we are all in the same boat and called to work together so that there will be no more walls that separate us. No longer others, but only a single we, encompassing all of humanity." So today we are honored to join you in this Share the Journey, a concert for compassion. As a community of clients, staff, volunteers, and supporters, Catholic Charities provides casework, emergency assistance, health promotion, English proficiency, mental health, interpretation, and legal services to immigrants. And also as the region's designated refugee resettlement agency, we are prepared to resettle hundreds of refugees in the next year from countries such as the Congo, Syria, and Sudan, as well as those fleeing the crisis in Afghanistan. With you, I know that we will make these newcomers feel welcome. They will place their roots here, like many of our ancestors did before. And like them, they will make our communities culturally, economically, and spiritually stronger. So let's take inspiration in these closing words of Pope Francis in his message today. We are called to dream together, fearlessly, as a single human family, as companions on the same journey, as sons and daughters of the same earth that is our common home, brothers and sisters all. And now, to share more about Catholic Charities' work, it's my privilege to introduce you to Elizabeth Clapp, Director of Immigration Legal Services. Thank you, and God bless.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Clapp, Director of Immigration Legal Services at Catholic Charities. It's an honor to be with you this evening. Our Legal Services Department represents immigrants of all ages and from many nations around the world with a wide variety of legal needs. We work with the family members of U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents to help them obtain status in the U.S. We provide removal defense in immigration court for families and individuals facing deportation. We help young immigrants file and renew their DACA so they are eligible to work and remain free from the risk of deportation. We work with unaccompanied minors and their guardians so that they may get residency in the U.S. We handle a variety of humanitarian cases, including visas for victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, and other crime victims. We represent asylum seekers who fled their home countries due to persecution. We help eligible green card holders file for naturalization and become U.S. citizens. For the first time, the Immigration Legal Services team now has 2 full-time attorneys, and we're looking forward to being able to serve more immigrants in the community with our increased capacity. To learn more about the services we provide, visit ccswoh.org/programs/immigration-legal-services.
And I'm Michael Jonathan. I'm here with Bobby Fisher. We're here with a very good cause tonight. We are trying to raise money and awareness for the crisis that's going on with immigration and people trying to make their way through life, whether it's in America or elsewhere. The world is in a lot of trouble right now. And I agree with Serenity that sometimes we can be overly negative or serious, which is why using music to emphasize causes like this are important. But specifically, as we're trying to raise funds, they're going into 3 very good resources, very good organizations that actually do very good work to help the immigration process. Why don't you tell everybody about the 3 organizations, Bobby?
Okay, well, those of you who have been here both in the audience, live audience, and on video have seen information about the 3 organizations, the Kino Border Initiative, Casa de Paz, and you'll in a little bit see some information regarding Catholic Charities. And they, just to mention, Catholic Charities is currently assisting locally in Cincinnati area 50 families, or 50 individuals from Afghanistan who are refugees with housing and with other assistance. So I'm going to typically would do a song right now. We would normally do like in the live setting a collection, but due to COVID, we're not passing baskets, but there is a bowl, a basket for collections in the back. And of course, those of you who are viewing us via the live stream, there's links to make the donation. So I'm going to go ahead and play a song called Song of the Exile that seems to fit the mood of, or the theme of folks who are seeking a place away from the home that they've known. And I'll be joined by my friends, Tim, Rose, John, and Serenity.
Hi, my name is Valimar Jansen, and I want to say thank you to Bobby Fischer and your entire team for inviting me and including me in today's concert. I'm singing a song entitled Ain't We Learned a Thing, and I'm accompanied by my blues band, Grits and Bourbon. On drums is Burley Drummond. He's from the legendary rock band Ambrosia. On bass, James East, and he was for a while the touring bass guitarist for Sergio Mendes. And on guitar, wonderful blues guitarist Patricia Mannion. She used to work with Kid Rock. And on piano, my wonderful husband, piano and keyboards, Frank Jansen. I hope you will enjoy this song. It challenges us to think about from where we've come, where we are now, and as a society, who do we want to become? Ain't we learned a thing?
Every
Bobby, you put together so many great performers. That was awesome. Your piece, Bobby, Exile, was just beautiful. I love that arrangement that you had. And the next two performers are, I heard, Soundcheck. And that we're reaching the pinnacle of the evening. First is Tyshawn Colquitt. Did I say that right? And coached by Jennifer Hudson. You've got all these accomplishments. Bobby, brag a little bit more about it.
Well, I'll do my best. Okay, you won first place at the Apollo.
Yes, 10-time winner.
10-time winner.
10-time
Okay.
winner. And I know you competed on The Voice, and Jennifer Hudson was your coach.
Yep.
And I know you recently auditioned for American Idol, but you're probably not allowed to tell us, are you?
Yeah, we just wait and we just
You
wait.
gotta wait on that. I don't know that I'm a prophet, but I think I can predict.
Okay.
All I can say is his outfit is as cool as his voice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
He dresses very well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So Tyshawn, we're going to be backing you up on a couple of shows for Donny
Yes.
Hathaway. Do you want to talk a little bit about that show?
Yeah, so a little bit about this show. I started a campaign, and what I wanted to do was give a tribute to all of the musical legends who've contributed to my life, as well as just to music, period. And the first artist that I was going to highlight was to be Donny Hathaway. The concert is called A Song for You. Pretty much through Donny's journey, he pretty much suffered from like schizophrenia, and he suffered through mental delusion and stuff like that. And so he actually died at the age of 34. And he was just like a legend gone too soon. Just like, if you read on or even come to the show, you will learn more about Donny Hathaway. But if you just take some time to just look into Donny Hathaway, you will see some of the movies he's composed for, and there were some of the great movies too, like got Emmys, and they also are he's done music for Curtis Mayfield, Aretha Franklin, the Staple Singers, and you can name it. It's just endless. But Donny Hathaway will be doing Someday We'll Be All Free.
It spins around. Just don't let the spin get you down. Things are moving fast. Hold on tight and you will last. Keep your self-respect, your manly pride. Get yourself in gear. Keep your stride. Never mind your fears, 'cause brighter days will soon be here. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free.
your greatest song and take it from me, it won't be long. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free, and it won't be long, long. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Take it from me, and someday we'll all be free. Yeah. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll be free. Donny Hathaway.
Hi, Sean. Okay, boy, oh boy. You know, a little voice lessons, you'll be okay. So- Good luck with everything. I mean, it's very, very good. A pro is in our midst over here. So now, speaking of pros, Tyshawn is going to get together with another artist. Together, they have the most intonated voices I have ever heard live on stage. No vocal tuning needed between these two. So we're going to get Annie to come on up and get in front of her microphone. I'm going to help you out. Here you go.
Good evening. I am really honored to be singing this song with Tyshawn. I was introduced with this version by Andrea Bocelli and Katherine Jenkins, and I just think it has such a powerful message. Here is I Believe. And I think the message speaks for itself.
One day I'll hear the laugh of children in a world where war has been banned.
One day I'll see men of all colors sharing words of love and devotion.
Stand up and feel the Holy Spirit. Find the power of your faith.
Open your hearts to those who need you. In the name of love and devotion. Yes, I believe. I believe in the people of all nations to join and to care for love.
I believe in the world where giving our love, we'll make heaven on I believe in the people of all nations to care for love.
I believe in a world light will guide us,
giving our love.
with our love we'll make heaven on earth. Yes,
I believe in the people of all nations to join and to care for love. I believe in the world and giving our love will make heaven on
we'll make heaven on earth.
Beautiful, Annie.
Thank you, Deshaun.
Give it up for them again. That was beautiful. There's nothing better to follow a dynamic performance like that right before the finale than a banjo song. I was thinking of something that Serenity said, and as they're getting ready for the finale and getting everybody up on stage, sometimes things do seem a little serious. You look at what's happening in the world at the time, global pandemic, nations fighting against nations and strife and migrants crossing borders, a global economic meltdown like had never been seen before, and this pandemic was affecting millions of people were dying, and even the President of the United States got the virus. Of course, I'm talking about 1918 when Woodrow Wilson got the Spanish influenza flu while visiting Paris. He got so sick that his wife had to take over the presidency for a while. Meanwhile, millions of people lost their life in a global bloodbath of World War I, and the Spanish influenza killed millions more. And in a tiny apartment, a songwriter named Irving Berlin looked at the darkness and the misery and all the stress and the strife that was going on, and he wrote this song. Blue skies shining on me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds, they're singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shine so bright, and never saw things looking so right. Noticing the day hurrying by when you're in love, my how they fly like blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. With people like Bobby Fischer and the good causes that he's trying to do, we can always have those blue skies in front of us. Things are never as bad as they seem, because human nature will always overcome the dark cloud. Why don't you introduce the big finale?
Yeah. Michael, thank you. Hey, before you go off the stage, maybe just put in a little plug for what you're up to these days with Wood Songs.
Well, no. I want to focus on you guys, but yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, Wood Songs is back in production. We had B.B. King Entertainer of the Year, Bobby Rush last week. This Monday we got Victor Wooten, and we're on over 537 stations now on PBS across the country and American Forces Radio, but none of that is as important as saving families and children and moms and dads as they're trying to struggle to stay alive. We get very complacent in our middle-class ways in a very safe and protected country like America, and sometimes it's a good thing to welcome others onto our community front porch. I try to celebrate the spirit of what was once America's front porch, that was that idea of home and family and neighbors and community. And Bobby, that's what you're doing. You're treating this event, welcoming all kinds of music and artists, and this is what America's front porch was once all about. The music and the art and the spirit and the integrity of hometowns and neighbors helping neighbors, whether it's nations or communities or families and hometowns. And so I celebrate you, Bobby. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Michael. We have one more piece to do, and we're going to do this with all of our groups. So if all of our performers would come up. Tom, you want to bring some balls up with you too? Once again, Greg Pearson, Steve Young, Pearson Young Project, and very special thank you also to our technical folks who have helped make this possible. Without them, this definitely would not have happened. Jim Pruse, Greg Bodis, Chad Knudsen, John Venemeyer, who's also part of the house band. Also our house band, Tim Brookbank on the bass, Betsy Lippett, who's performed and is playing violin. We all just kind of contribute. Rose Reed Miller-Gauda on the violin, Max Pearson on the drums. Very special thank you also to our performers from last night, to all of you folks who came out here to be with us live tonight, and all of you folks who are viewing from home. So thank you, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We love you, and thank you for your generosity as well. Thank you. So Greg, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce this song.
This is a song that I started actually long ago when my daughter was in high school. And it just occurred to me that so many times we concentrate, we focus on color of a person's skin. And my daughter, she struggled with that because it seemed like every time she was involved in something, somewhere, somehow, someone brought up color. And what I wanted her to understand is that the color of your skin doesn't define you. You define you. And I think so many times we let people define us by these different labels and these different tags. So this is a song about being defined by the content of your character, as someone once said. It's called Color of Me. Not a matter of black, not a matter of white, yellow, red, brown, doesn't matter. They're just pigment in our sight. There's more to the story than the eye can see. What I am, who I am, is the color of me. Someday we'll discover it's not the color of our skin that makes us sisters and brothers. There's more to the story. Everyone should know. This is my story. Here's soul.